Well, I've been to Antarctica many times, starting in the early 1960s, and I went there because I was in charge of a program of setting up experiments in different stations in the Antarctic. There are many stations. Yet in the first series, I was in a government program, leading a government series of experiments then, and then I eventually ended up as a professor at the University of California and invented a new machine to do what I had been doing in the government. They actually measure the galactic radio noise. And I'll say that more slowly. It's the radio frequency noise that comes from our galaxy, which is the thing you see at night and most commonly called the Milky Way. Basically, in this case, the galaxy is acting as a fixed transmitter in space, transmitter of radio waves in space. And if there is nothing in between, that signal is picked up on your antenna wherever you are. But because of effects taking place between the sun and the earth, that upper atmosphere is often disturbed in many different ways, which we can talk about. And then the signal is disturbed. And so by measuring the disturbance in the signal, you're getting a reference to the disturbances in the upper atmosphere caused by effects starting with the sun. The reason you go to Antarctica or to the Arctic, and I'm talking about going polar, is because the magnetic field of the Earth guides those particles coming from the sun to the polar regions. And so, in fact, if you sit in the Caribbean, you'd be wasting your time in that you wouldn't see any of these effects we're talking about. I think it's basically the idea of understanding whatever you're studying and not being too casual about too many things, to try and study something with some depth so that you begin to understand it maybe better than the person that's teaching you, so that you can look to another step by yourself. That is, that you get an idea that says, well, if that is so, then this must be so, or I should try that. And you meet many, in this field that I'm in, you meet many adventurous people that do exactly that. They move from one thing to another, usually on a trajectory so that there aren't giant steps maybe.